Who are you and what do you do?
Tom McDonald. I am Strategic Sales and Business Development Manager at Aeris.
What is that?
So we are an IoT deployment company. So we really enable your devices. So medical devices, utilities, connected vehicle platforms. We are the connectivity, the support, the management platform, pretty much end to end.
So help me understand. My medical device produces data.
Right.
I should call Tom.
Well, how you get that data is very, very important.
Explain.
So a lot of remote patient monitoring applications utilize cellular. So you have to go ahead and really enable that, put that in your device. CPAP device, for one, has a cellular module, right? So that cellular module is transmitting the data. We are the enabler of that connectivity. The management platform as well, so you can deploy locally or globally with multiple carriers and not be really concerned about, oh, is it Sprint or is it AT&T?
Okay, so you talked about cellular.
Mm-hmm.
What is the alternative in a patient device? I mean, I'm really out of my element here. Please educate us.
Right, so you could use Wi-Fi. You could utilize Wi-Fi in the home. In an institution, it's not really where we play, but more so if you look at medical is really just one area where we're very prominent, but we also work in transportation, logistics, asset tracking. So it requires, if you want to do some sort of remote patient monitoring, what are your alternatives?
And what's HIPAA compliant?
Well, you utilize cellular. Cellular is the model, is what is being used today.
And you can facilitate that.
Right. So I think CPAP is a great example. Mobile PERS as well. I think it's exactly what they utilize and enable. So you have a cellular module and a CPAP device. That device transmits data. When someone hangs it up in the morning, that transmits that data, and it goes to like ResMed or Philips does it as well.
Okay. So let me think of it this way. Some of the folks with whom we've spoken today can do things in-house or outsource. It sounds to me as though this is not an in-house thing. We must use your service or one of your competitor services. Is that right?
Right. I think, and especially in the remote patient monitoring, that's the field. The mobile PERS, those are the fields where we play strongest, and most of the carriers do as well. Otherwise, you can just utilize Wi-Fi.
Okay. And so if I were doing an RFP for such a thing and considering your competitive players, about which I'm not well educated, why would I pick you?
Right. Great question. So you probably know our competitors. You have the major carriers, right? You've got the Sprints, the Verizons, the AT&Ts, Vodafones as well. But also you have to consider, I think some of the things that I talk about up here is depth of carrier. So if you want to deploy, you want to be managing multiple vendors and having multiple management platforms to manage your deployments, or are you really concerned about building an application to help the patient? That's what's important. So when we look at the management platform, or if you're developing something, you want to be able to get the best outcome and not be concerned about, oh my gosh, do I have coverage here? You want to be able to have that depth of coverage covered.
And that's something that your group will take care of that part for you.
Right. So we have carrier relationships. We're about 14 million plus devices globally deployed. We're in the Americas, in Europe, and in India, and we have a joint venture in Japan with SoftBank. So we have those carrier relationships, and we have those interconnections with our data centers with those carriers. So we actually see raw data coming across as well.
My last question, at what point in a new product concept would someone who is doing patient monitoring and the like bring someone like Aeris into their conversation?
So you could be doing a next generation product, or you could be doing a brand new product. And I think, Michael, to your point, utilizing sensor data is great, but you could also actually have a module in there as well. I think so when you're doing a new product, there's a lot of things that you can do. We don't make anything. We're SaaS, we're a platform provider. But when you start looking at how do I take a device that maybe hadn't typically been connected before, but I need to get that data. Number one, I need to be able to manage it as well to see what's the health of it, not just the application, like the patient information, but what's the actual health of that data of the device. So I can say, do I have a problem with it, or is the patient just not using it?
Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks a lot.